What up,
Hello.
Patreon players?
Thank you so much for supporting us on Patreon. I'm looking at the camera. Thank you so much for supporting us on Patreon. I genuinely mean that. You are our May babies. You
Look at
are
this
the
shirt,
birthday
though,
babies
Adam.
of
For
May.
everybody looking, look at this shirt.
What you got? That's fucking awesome. Where'd you get that?
A good friend of mine named Robin Ulibari gave it to me. She's this kooky,
Don't shout out anyone who's
insane
not
artist.
a Patreon. Don't shout out
She's
anyone
nice.
who's not a Patreon.
She's nice. Well,
Did she
she gave me a
pay?
shirt. So I
Did she
think,
pay?
no, she does not pay, but
We
I
don't
think.
do trade. These people didn't give us shirts. They gave us money for birthday shout outs.
I think it's a sweet shirt. It's making my biceps look good. So I'm going to say, well, I've been lifting. And
no one knows because you don't talk about it enough. No one knows.
The jealousy on your face it's all over.
What you should be jealous of is restraint. You could just better yourself and not talk about it. I played soccer last night.
You're talking about it. And we hear about your fucking soccer all the time. You don't
know about my Peloton. You don't know about how I'm cross-training and I'm doing other... You don't know I've started doing yoga again.
Anyway,
you don't know that.
Babies, let's party. We realized, did a little math. Of course, we consulted our friends over at MIT. They looked back, collated. They arranged your parents be fucking in August.
Now, MIT is a museum in Texas. We asked a museum in Texas when your parents might have conceived.
I'm not allowed anywhere near the MIT in Massachusetts.
No, they came back. They said August. So these are sticky, hot summer fucks. This is,
and what they're doing is they're like, the kids are about to go back to school. Summer's over. It's like your first going back to school, and they're on the couch just.
Dada got a watermelon, and he did the classic movie popcorn trick where you put a hole at the bottom of the popcorn bag and put your D through it. Dad did that with a watermelon because dad's got a huge dick.
Wow. Well, that's it. I think that's all we needed to do for this. That's it. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, No, but it is funny you say, but it's back to school babies because their mom and dad were fucking because they're out of the house. And then May is end of school. So these are school year people. You know what I mean? They calibrate themselves according to the school year. So I think, fittingly, we should tell these people what their high school senior class prank was. We'll tell them what it was.
Oh, my God.
It'll remind them of the good times, the laughs that they had. And we'll just kind of go from there. I
love this. And it's crazy because I know that those facts about looking at the list about everybody on this list.
It's crazy that I would know them as well, but I totally do.
All right. Well, and why don't you go first? Why don't you start? I'm gonna toss this first one over to you. This is a 12-6 slow curveball that you can see coming because you know this person very well. Elijah Philipp.
Oh, sure. Elijah's graduating class, the Mustangs. So their principal was a very routine-oriented guy, like always up at the same time, always in the car at the same time. And they knew his pattern, and they knew when he arrived at school. So what they did is like a block before he pulled in the parking lot, they crashed into him Fast and the Furious style. They crashed into his car to keep him from getting to the school. And they pulled him out and they duct taped his mouth. They blindfolded and they threw him in the trunk of one of the, I think it was the quarterback. I can't even remember. And then they threw him into a lake, hands bound. And they were filming and they were like, well, we'll get the footage and it'll be like funny. But I don't know whether he sucked in water or he hit his head down there, but they only had him under for 20 seconds or so, but he was dead. He was DOA when they pulled him out.
But I tell you what, that Mustangs class was legendary.
Legend.
People are still talking about that.
And the new principal, the VP, they say that person or the assistant principal was better anyway. And that guy would have been there for 20 more years or something like that. But now he's out of the way, and the school actually was better after that.
Go Mustangs! Full-scale abduction on
throwing it back at you. Great friend of the pod, friend of all of ours, Malkah Duprix, May baby. What did Malkah and her senior graduates
this was sort of along the same lines. It's funny you mention that, and I think a lot of those people. Now the Malkah went to school. Cougars. The Cougars were their school, and they went to the local municipal airport. They found a small Cessna, single prop
small
engine
airport.
plane. They tried to see how many seniors they could pack into a Cessna.
That's great. That's fun.
And then fly over the school.
Okay.
And as they went over the school, they actually dropped Molotov cocktails along the roof of it. Now the school is no longer there, of course.
Wow.
I think honestly, it's hard to know where that fire started. Now, was it? I think correlation doesn't equal causation, and I think the Cougars class can't be held entirely responsible because everybody knew
the quality of the surface of the roof had it been recently tarred. Like there's a lot of moving pieces.
There's lightning. There's a lot of weather patterns, unpredictable weather patterns. But I'll tell you what, that Cougars class, they're remembered and they're missed.
Absolutely.
And so,
legends.
Yeah,
absolute legends.
I'm gonna toss the next one over to you, Adam. Taylor West.
Sure,
not Taylor Swift.
West. No.
We're all Westies, though. We're here at Grolix. We're all Westies.
Yeah, Taylor West of the Adirondack Vipers. Go Vipers!
Are there vipers in the Dax?
Yeah, a lot of vipers in the Dax. A lot of people don't know that, but they're lousy with vipers. What Taylor West's, what their graduating class did was kind of cruel in hindsight, and they chose the sort of weakest, nerdiest, most outcast kid in the class. And very similar to the premise of High Plains Drifter, they made that kid class president for a day, and they all celebrated that kid, and they're like, you're in charge of everything.
That's a feel-good story.
Right, and everyone was like, the kid was like, oh my God, after this hell of high school, people finally appreciate me, I feel accepted, and they went with it all day long, and then the next day, right back to pecking order. And they kicked that kid around the hall, and they're like, it was fake. It was a prank on fucking you.
Wow. Psychological.
And they really went at that kid again, like in that way as their prank. And it was cool to see the class congeal around that prank on that kid. Who
it was
never
like
was
sort of a flash mob prank type thing.
And that kid honestly was never part of the core of the class as well, or why would they have targeted him? So
where did that person end up?
That's Andrew Overdahl. He's a Viper.
Well, that's fun. That's fun.
Yeah.
See how we spun it all the way back around to the podcast. That's really good, Adam. Thank you. Really.
Ben Terry Maloney, also a May baby and a supporter of the pod. What did Terry Maloney's class do for their high school prank?
Well, Terry Maloney was homeschooled.
Oh.
So this is kind of a
go mouth breathers.
Yeah, Terry Maloney was part of the mouth breathers. I hope Terry was not actually homeschooled for everybody's benefit.
I don't care. Bring it, Terry.
But Terry Maloney ate an entire package of incandescent light bulbs. No one knows exactly why. But on the senior day, just cracking these things, mouth bleeding, eating light bulbs. Now, I think it was to get attention. I don't know. Said it was
Terry's siblings.
Yeah,
mom and dad.
I really don't know. Maybe from mom, maybe from dad. I don't know.
Neighbor, kid, who knows?
But it's a weird senior prank. It's very meta. It's very out there.
And it kind of just like one person, but I guess they are homeschooled. So
just stared, eating glass and the little wire things. Full six pack of old school bulbs. I mean, this is, but you know, I mean, go mouth breathers, you know,
go mouth
good
breathers.
Team. Yeah.
Go mouth breathers.
I got one. I keep in touch with this person. I keep in touch with this person on the Instagram.
It's great.
Riley Borne.
Sure.
Riley Borne. And I know you know this person.
Oh,
Best friends.
Absolutely. Riley Borne went to the Jefferson Davis Confederates. Wasn't even rebels. It was Confederates.
Oh, they just
the weird
leaned
thing
right
was,
into it.
You'd think that's in the South. Dead of Manhattan. Center of Manhattan.
Oh, wow.
The Jefferson Davis High School Confederates. And they're still there.
You don't hear of a lot of secessionist schools in the middle of the Union.
They haven't changed anything. They got the statues out front. They're a holdout, and Riley went there. But their senior prank was kind of a classic one. They took a cow up the stairs to a high, I think it was like the 4th or 5th floor of the building. And everyone knows cows can't go downstairs. They're terrified. So it's a whole ordeal having to get them down the stairs.
Classic cow on the stairs mistake. We've all been there.
But what they didn't know was that the music teacher that was their classroom was a little unhinged. Big fan of Apocalypse Now, and they replicated the sort of slaughter scene, the sacrifice of the cow scene in front of a freshman music class, a choir class.
Ow.
And that the teacher was promptly fired. Yes, you can believe secessionist causes at this school, but you can't be sacrificing cows in front of kids. And so it really traumatized. It was kind of a fuck you to that freshman class from the seniors. They're like, well, we didn't intend for this, but now you're pretty haunted, aren't you?
I like these kids. I got to tell you, I like the Apocalypse Now cow thing.
Yeah.
Mailman's here right now, dropping off mail, as you can hear.
Oh, Ben, I hope you got some coupons for King Supers.
The Jacksonator, the little dog, is giving the mail slot the business. A jolly Roger with his snout.
One Patreon left. And they just want to be known as Jason, so Jason they shall be. By the way, when I was a kid,
I know the Jason. I know Coy Jason.
When I was a kid, if I was jealous of anyone named Jason, it's like the best '80s name. I didn't want Adam. I wanted to be named Jason.
Supreme athletes.
Yes.
Supreme athletes.
Happy birthday to you, Jason. Cool fucking name.
Jason,
Ben, what did Jason do?
Just graduated this year. I know that.
Cool.
I went to Jason's graduation.
You spoke at it.
Yes, I did. The Jason was part of the Mount Sinclair. They were river badgers. Now a lot of it's a mix because they didn't know what a beaver was, so they just called them river badgers.
They thought it was a wet badger.
Yeah, wet badger is actually the Mount Sinclair wet badgers, which feels problematic, but I swear it's not.
It's not.
Now, Jason graduated this year. What his class did, get this.
Oh, I'm listening.
Was broke in to the office where the all-call intercom is for the entire school.
I love
Mount Sinclair is a large school. It's a Class A school.
2,600, 2,800 last I checked.
26,000 high school kids. One of the biggest ones in the state.
It's like a state university.
It's a state university, basically, but it's for kids. And the Mount Sinclair and the Wet Badgers and Jason, they all got together and they played the episode of The Grolic Saves the World, where we're not saying don't say like or everybody is a better person. They started playing more episodes, locked it down. The kids are all amazing human beings. Fast track, they say. Best school in the district, they're saying now.
Holy smokes.
And they're attributing it to the return to school around.
We turned to school around. Fuck, that's awesome.
And the Wet Badgers are on track right now to win every state championship in every sport they play and in one they don't compete in. It's crazy.
Awesome.
They're out of their
power
minds.
of the pod. It's the power of the pod, and I think you all are seeing it. You know it better than anybody. You're Patreon, so thank you so much for supporting us. We appreciate it.
Always
Happy birthday to you.
To see what Patreon does, what your birthdays do. We love you all so much. Thank you for fucking supporting us and be fucking. You know what I mean? Let your parents get to fucking.
They fucked. It's your turn to fuck. Make some babies. And we're proud of you.
I love you all. Happy birthday, May babies.
I don't love you, but I'm very fond of you.